The Birth of Limerence, an interview with author Liz Hicklin. I'm here to introduce Liz Hicklin to discuss her first novel, her debut novel, Limerence. Welcome, Liz. How are you today?
Excited.
I bet you are. So I have a ton of questions for you, so I hope you're prepared. First of all, how does it feel to be an author?
Overwhelming.
Does it? I bet it does. It is a bit of a scary process, isn't it?
It's long and arduous.
Like birthing a baby?
Similar.
I think we
Takes longer.
Did we birth a baby?
A lot longer.
Oh, we did. So we're going to start with the story of... Let's start with the letters. How did this whole thing come about? You started where you were visiting your sister in California, I believe, and Audrey produced...
She produced a letter and she said, read this. So I started to read this letter. It was a Dear John letter. It was expressing one's desire to get out of a relationship. And I said, you wrote this letter. How could I possibly be reading something you wrote? And then she told me the whole story, which was absolutely captivating. So ever since that moment, I've wanted to write this story down because it's true and it's quite amazing.
From the first time we met, I was blown away by the fact that it was a real story, a true story. And then let's talk a little bit about that. We'll start with, how did we meet?
Well, I joined the Peninsula Writers Group, so I arrived for a workshop with my computer and my notes and just this idea. But I really had no idea how to go about making a book. And I just casually mentioned to the person next to me.
Which was me.
Oh, I've got this idea, but I really don't know how to execute it. And
what did I say?
Oh, what's it all about? So I briefly told you the story, and your eyes were popping out by the end of it.
Oh, yeah.
And you said, this is fascinating. Let me help you.
Yeah. I'm so happy I've been on this journey with you, Liz. It's really helped me grow too as a person, and because it is an incredible story. I think that a true story is so fascinating because you can't make this stuff up, can you? You can't make it up, and here it is. We've got the finished version. She's right here. So we met, and then we started talking, and then you showed me the letters. I had to see the letters, and when I saw the letters, that's
the letter.
One of the letters.
Fate.
And
letter.
Again, that was like stage 2. We thought, okay, wow, we're onto something really hot here, because this was written at the end of World War II, and they had a correspondence, a love correspondence, and we won't tell the whole plot, but we know that basically, off you go. Please tell us.
Well, they met at the Olympic Games. They were both spectators, and had quite a romance, and exchanged details, and said they'd write to each other when they went home, and sure enough, they did exchange quite a few letters. But Hubert was always a bit more anxious than Audrey, who really got on with her life. And she happened to meet a Swiss fellow and fell in love with him, and decided to marry him. So she had to write to Hubert and tell him, look, I met someone else. And Hubert just couldn't cope with it. He just wouldn't accept it. And he fell to pieces. He wouldn't study. His parents were in despair. And then his call-up papers came for the French Army of Occupation of Germany. And he was standing in a field when a German girl came up to him. He was on duty, a French soldier, not supposed to fraternize.
Mm.
So she was very bold, and she said, "I am one of 5 sisters. Not one man has returned to our village. I'd like to be married. Please, will you marry me?" Wow.
That's
Oh,
shocking,
dear.
isn't it? I mean, back in those times, you know, you just wouldn't even hear about something like this happening. And it was one of the post-war effects that a girl could be so desperate for marriage that she would even propose to
The
a
enemy.
French soldier from the opposing side. So, you know, and I've just come back from 3 years in France, and, you know, this just does not happen. I mean, even today, I mean, they have an amicable relationship, the French and the German, but this is not something that would have been seen in 1945. Definitely not.
And he went on with this idea of Audrey. He fantasized about Audrey his whole life. But he became the top of his profession. And
A judge. A judge.
And yes, so it's not as though, and he went on to have a wonderful house full of antiques, but he never found Audrey, although he did seek for her, to find her. And it was after he died that his daughter found the letters with a message, "When I die, I'd like you to send these to Audrey Grattich. She has been my whole centre of my existence for my whole life." Oh my dear, the girl, his daughter, was so shocked.
Shocking.
So
But can you tell us how you stumbled across the title?
I just can't tell you.
You just,
I was Googling
it was
one
really
day,
accidental.
and I saw this word limerence, and I thought, my God, that's the title of my book. It is a condition. It is a recognised condition. I believe there is a doctor of limerence in America,
Yes.
and books have been written about it. It's not a word that's in the dictionary for some reason.
Yes.
Have you found it?
No, not yet, no. But,
No.
I mean, we're definitely stumbling onto new ground here. And this is, you know, obviously, it's not the first time that anyone has suffered from this condition, but it is, you know,
so
one
it's
of the...
a recognised condition.
Yes.
Mm.
Hey, next question. What was the hardest thing about writing limerence?
Every part of it.
Well,
I
hang
had
on.
no
We haven't-
idea. I just fiddled around with writing, doing short stories and poems, and nothing was very serious. All of a sudden, I had a serious project, and it was difficult.
Yeah, we were going at it for a good 8 or 9 months, weren't we?
Yeah,
I think
I'd
though-
write something, and then you say, "Oh, heavens above."
Can we just mention though, we have to have this in the interview, that it just came about naturally, didn't it? We'd start joking about who was sleeping with Hubert tonight.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be my turn to have him, then your
Yeah.
turn to have him. It'd be, hang on, who's got Hubert tonight?
Yes.
Which was pretty funny. But we got through it that way, and a lot of research, a lot of hardcore
Yes,
research went
of
into
course,
this too.
quite a lot of this book is fictitious because I only knew the bare facts, and which wouldn't fill a book. So
Yeah.
I've met some interesting people along the way. I had no idea about the German girl, what her life would have been like during the war.
I think that there are a lot of unanswered questions in history, but that's why history is so important, because we can only learn about our future if we go back and examine the past, right? So let's say we are just woohoo surprised. Limerence is out, and we know that the launch has been temporarily delayed, sadly, because of the coronavirus restrictions. But that's okay. We're going to have a party, aren't we?
Eventually.
We're definitely going to have a party on this one. But now we're on to the next book for Liz Hicklin.
No.
And I just want to quickly ask, tell us about the memoirs.
I've had a varied life, and I never entertained the thought of writing it down. But during the course of our friendship, snippets of my life have been revealed.
Yeah, we'd be working on this and you'd say something and I'd say,
And
what?
Susan would have a gasp in horror or shriek with laughter
Unbelievable.
and saying, you must write it down, write it down. So I'm starting to write it down.
Good girl.
And I'm still enjoying it.
Oh, it is fascinating.
I've not even reached Australian shores yet.
I'm privileged enough to
So
see the workings of book 2. And
I don't know about Susan's whipping me along. She's quite
a workhorse.
okay, she is too.
I'm a little bit.
She keeps pressing me on, so we'll see
You also-
what eventuates.
Liz also doesn't... Oh. Liz, you also don't really like sitting still for too long. You're a bit of a storyteller.
What?
Yeah. And now, you're author Liz Hicklin. Check that out.
Yes, thank you,
Well,
Sue.
Liz, this has been just my highest honour to work on this book with you. I feel so lucky to be a part of this book with you, but even more happy to be part of your life. I'm happy to know you and be part of... We're a family now.
Well,
we
you've
are a
taught me so
family.
much.
Ditto. Back at
You're
you,
a
chick.
wordsmith beyond all
Back at you.
capabilities.
Oh, we can
that
go
I
on
could
all
ever
afternoon
rise
like
to,
this.
but
Give me
I'm
more.
very
give me more.
tame compared to you.
No,
but still.
we figured it out, didn't we?
Mm.
Yeah. All right, folks, get out there, check this out. It's going to be in bookstores fairly soon. We will post dates when we have her in Farrell's and local bookstores and whatnot. And you can also buy her on Amazon.com, and we'll see to it that you get your copy shipped and all is well. And then we would love to see reviews. Give us lots and lots of reviews, because we really want to hear back from all the readers and you know, because that's what keeps writers going. We need to know what we're doing. What
By
did you
the
write?
way, my sister is still alive, and she's 90. And she is the English teacher, she was. So I was quite afraid when I sent her the book to hear what she would say about it. She actually liked it. I was so relieved.
She loved it.
She likes the story, and that's all that matters.
And that's all that matters.
She approves of it.